Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Minecraft single-player series. Finally, it's done. It took more hours than I thought necessary. It's not as big as I want it to be. However, it's as big as it needs to be at a bare minimum. Step 1. We need to darken this entire place except that location there. I need to make sure that the mobs can actually start spawning. Therefore, the most dangerous aspect of this job, de-torching the entire thing. I already de-laddered everything, so there's nothing to get on the sides. And the whole... Damn it, I fell off. That's one. And the whole difficulty here is trying, A, not to let the lag get me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the frames back at fast and the render distance back to normal. See, when I'm not recording, I can keep it at fancy and far, but at this point, the recording software is just my biggest enemy for finishing this properly. And now I have to say that of all the contraptions I've ever made in Minecraft, I think this one might be the longest one I've ever worked on. Not the hardest one. The hardest one I ever worked on, I'm pretty sure, was in a multiplayer server, but that was because scheduling was a nightmare. And thankfully, scheduling wasn't the issue here. The issue here was simply running out of resources, because this required an absurd amount of pickaxes. Heck, you guys saw part of the mining process in action during the speed up episode that I did with David. Oh, of course. If I miss, I miss, right? That's the answer. Okay. Eventually, mobs should start spawning, assuming I did this correctly. And that's a large assumption to be made, mind you, but still. I think I did this correctly. And if I did, then great for me. Yay for me. Perfect. I am absolutely mined out here. I said I would start by having us mine here, and that's how I'm going to do this. By having us mine over here. Okay. I forgot to take this section off here. Now that's dark. That's just pitch black. And that's the idea. I'm going to have all the mobs spawn here so that they can just be taken through the water and forced out of here. Because I don't want these mobs here. They're criminals. If they weren't doing anything, they'd have nothing to fear. But for some reason they look at Steve and they think, oh, let's kill him. And so we need to put them in prison. Now don't worry, the mobs aren't humans, so that whole inhumane aspect of prison, the kind that involves soap, will not occur here, because it's still a rated E game. However, they will still face a heavy punishment for the crime of going against me. Okay. I didn't realize how many torches I actually used, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I used not even half this many torches. I got some diamonds out of this whole debacle, this whole construction. But at the end of the day, I don't think it was enough. I think I still needed more. Admittedly, I now have next to unlimited cobblestone, which means, thankfully, that I should be fine in terms of construction for the future of the series. However, we're not done with actually building this thing. We've only set it up. I still have a few things left to do. Specifically, I have to get rid of the light in all other parts of the area. See? Now there's swimming over there. Perfect. Perfect. I haven't finished this quickly enough, didn't I? I rushed this. At least I know they swim up, meaning that I can send them to the sky in a bit. And I know it's nighttime because they're not burning despite being there. Okay. This is perfect. Shit. Well, this is the plan. Have everything here so that they can just be sent over there. I probably should have locked that location down more effectively. I'll have to kill all the enemies, and then while doing so, I have to prevent them from getting at me in the first place. Okay, another enemy has fallen down. That's perfect. This is exactly what I want. For the enemies to think they're not safe. And they're all over there too. I wonder if I can get them to hit each other. Because no matter what, they're stuck here. Now, mind you, there's an issue that has occurred. I am also stuck here. And the question has become, how do I get myself out of here without losing all my hearts? That is a good question. Admittedly, this last section here, this platform is going to have lights, because without it, it won't work. Okay. Shit. No. Bastards. No. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Hold on. Hold on. I have to think about this. How do I get out of this one? I need to come up with I need to postulate a winning strategy to get out of this one. Shit. They're all monsters. The kind of monsters that want me dead. Oh no. Shit. Okay. At least I know this thing works now. And the problem is, the longer I stay here, the more mobs will start spawning. Is there a skeleton spawner somewhere? There's no way it's just this many skeletons. Shit. How do I get out of this one? Because they're all after me. Shit. You know what? I'm gonna have to do the radical decision. I need to get them to despawn, but I don't want to die yet. I don't have any healing items. I hate to do this. Mostly because I didn't realize how long this would take. And this is going to be one of the few times you'll see this map on peaceful mode. Because while I would be completely alright with leaving it all on hard, if construction would take longer, or if the game itself, if recording the gameplay itself would be made more difficult, it's not worth the difficulty. So I'd rather just cheese the gameplay. Either way, at this point we've made it dark, and I realized that I did this part way too early. What I need to do now is set up a water tower so that the mobs will go this way. Now that's easier said than done, given that I'm going to be doing this in the dark. Yeah, the dark. And I still don't have enough wood for all the signs that are going to be required for this one. Still, as far as I know, nothing will spawn here. Okay, which is the good part. The bad part is, how do I not die? How do I evade death in this? Look at this! You can't even see anything! Okay. Anyways, enough lollygagging. What I need to do now is set up the water path. And I will be doing that in a little bit. Let me just set this up so that you guys can see what's going on with these mobs. Oh, now it's turning daytime. Perfect. I need to put the glass here. That way they can be seen from the inside. But it's still not yet required. Okay. What this should tell me, I'll know if it works if and when they start spawning here. Okay, so that's that. And now let's put the wood like so. And now they should be free to spawn. The problem here now is that I have to add all of the signs here. And I need to put the game back on hard mode just to make sure that it works. Now, if there's a bunch of mobs there, I'm going to put it back to peaceful. Simply because there's no point in adding any more difficulty to this if it means that I can't actually get anything done. We're back. I am back on hard mode. I just needed it to get out of there. Don't worry. I probably won't go back into easy mode unless it gets that bad once again. Problem is, it can very easily get that bad now that it's pitch black in here. Okay? It's going to be... Shoot, that was bad. Done. See, this is the problem with having the inability to shift click, to shift on ladders. Of course! Move! King, move! Why the hell can't I move? You know, I thought this would be easier, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I really did. I probably should have made it dark after setting it up. You know? That was my mistake. But at least I can prove a few things. But look. If I press shift, it doesn't stop me from going down. Meaning that that's a relatively new mechanic in the game. A relatively new mechanic. Shifting on a door, yeah, that's new. Anyways. The point I'm trying to get at is that this is going to be really tedious, and you're only going to see me do this a few times. The rest I'll do off screen, just so you can see what I really go through for you all. This is the process of making sure that the entire map works when you need it to work. Okay. There's that one, and now the next step is to make sure that I can get the water flowing down here. And I should be able to get the water down here. Perfect. Perfect. Do push-ups. Good. And now the biggest issue with this, though, is... Am I getting from underneath? I'm getting from underneath, huh? Yep. I was. I can't get it from underneath. I have to do it from above. Okay. Tedium will ensue. But you'll see it as it goes along. Once we get this finished, it will become a much cooler device, I want to say. So first we gotta break this ladder. Please break. Good. So now I can put the water here. And the water there. And that'll keep this as a source. Meaning I gotta place a water here. And then I have to rinse and repeat this over and over again to get out of here properly. So this center one here, I'll place it, and that brings it there. And I can put one there, and now the only spot that's missing is middle. Yep. The things I do for this Let's Play. Get back to me, thank you, Torch. This is entirely how Minecraft was intended to be experienced. By being forced to sift through all of this crap over and over and over again. And this is why you set up the infinite sorts there, so that you can just go up and down and not have to worry about anything else. So now this layer is done, and then I gotta move on to the next layer. I have sinned. I have gone outside of my farm and harvested loads of trees. Trees that I did not need to harvest in the slightest. Why did I harvest them? It's simple. Everything I do, everything I've ever worked for, is for the sake of all of you. And I need to ensure that I have all the items necessary to succeed. I'm also going to start planting trees like crazy above ground near near the base entrance here. Okay? I do like how this farm is going. It's going well, going very well. It's a shame that the road has broken down. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but truth be told, in life you don't always get to make all the decisions. Sometimes things happen that are out of your control, and you must react to them accordingly. Do your best. And now we are here, continuing with everything I need to do. Two, three, tanang. All of this in the name of having more trees at the time of victory. I don't know when victory is, but it's going to happen someday, somewhere, and it's going to be in my favor. Hopefully. Truth be told, a 4x4 tree farm is no longer cutting it. I might have to start expanding underneath. I don't want to because that takes forever. But I will if I must, for the sake of progressing. And this island, I'm going to take it over. It's not even an island, it's more of a peninsula that's connected to a desert. I actually think it'll be better if I show it to you. I think that finally I have enough. And even if I don't, I can still get more. It's not as though I emptied out the entire location, just enough to make it so that it's no longer too big of a bother. I'm still working on this section of the map, trying to flatten this out so that I can create less mob spawning. Because the idea is I want to terraform and make this completely flat. Once this becomes completely flat, everything works much better in my favor. 48 logs will give me not enough, but it'll help me out. And that's the plan. And the good news is that it's actually getting dark, so I should start focusing on other things. But the idea is that this is going to be one little location where I will be continuing the rest of the story. That's only there to give me an entrance into the spawn point, and the water trap over there is a method of prevention. Specifically to prevent... this is a really far walk now that I analyze it. It doesn't seem anywhere near that far when I actually go down there, though. Weird. That's besides the point. It's going to help me out in the long run. This island will become mine. Welcome back, everyone. I know it's nighttime, but we're still on peaceful. And I don't want to be on peaceful. However, the problem with building this on hard mode is that because I put torches near the bottom, as long as this stays in progress, mobs will just keep floating up and up and up until eventually I just keep dying. And that's not what I want. I want to eventually finish this, and at the end of the day, this is mostly just to show things off. I'm not really trying to be some tutorial wizard or any of that. Or any of that fancy stuff. I've been at this for about 4.5 hours. Just trying to get this to work. And honestly, I'm kind of sick of it. This takes forever. And not in a good way. Absolutely not in a good way. The good news is this will slow down mob spawning in the overworld, making it easier to get things done even at night. In addition, I've resorted to just planting trees everywhere so that I can just harvest them whenever I'm running low on wood, because the old method, what I was doing was doing stuff here, wait till I run out of wood, go back to the tree farm. The tree farm wasn't finished, I'd come back here, lather, rinse, repeat. It caused lag like crazy. See, I'm at 2139 FPS. This is what happens when you have this many signs in the overworld. Okay, I have about, let's see here, I have about 40 signs down there, and then every other block there's 9 signs, and it goes down to 13, so 65 minus 13 will be 42. 42 divided by 2 is 21. 21 times 9. 21 times 9 would be 9 plus 180. 189 signs by the time we finish this. And then we'll still need more signs, which is why the world is going to start lagging like crazy, or the video quality is going to drop. One of the two. And that is the issue with a large project if you don't have a beefy, and I mean beefy computer. Because don't get me wrong, I'm running on 24 gigabytes of RAM. I'm not exactly running, chump change. I was other YouTuber I was working with. Her name is Sabribri. She was showing me her Minecraft stuff. She did a modded Disneyland Minecraft thing. I might post a link to it in the chat, in the description. My bad, in the description. It's actually pretty interesting. You ask me, I think her intro was too long, but other than that, it was good. And she was showing me tricks to play Minecraft on Mac. And the thing is, while technically speaking, the game ran fine, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a stable, very stable, I should add. However, I don't care how stable it is, 13 frames per second is not worth it if I need to play on a Mac. At that point, I just won't play the game. I don't know. I don't think 13, meaning 1-3, is good. And yes, this is how I do it. I'm not gonna lie. This is a pain in the ass. But, and if anyone's wondering how I know Sabribi, well, I'm taking a class with her in Python. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I'm not gonna lie, coding is interesting. I don't plan on being a coder, but they always say, hey man, if you ever lose your job, learn to code. So it might as well be something I have access to, even if I'm not going to plan on doing it. You never know when you need it in your life. Hopefully, if it gets too bad, I can have a foundation to learn off of. But even if not, I can just keep going. Am I seriously out of signs already? I'm out of signs already. I wish signs could stack in old versions of the game. There's probably a mod for it, but I'm not gonna mod an old version of Minecraft. At that point, did I just place one? Yeah, I did. At that point, it's just not worth it. We're almost at the top, though. Once we get to the top, because you can see this is at the very top. At the beginning, and I mean at the very beginning, the way this was working, I was having it be the case where I had to manually input everything. And all these manual inputs just built up and built up and built up until eventually I just got sick of it. And as you can see, this was a project and a half. I'm not sure how long this episode has actually gone yet. I haven't put all the clips together. Because the way I record, for those of you who don't know, is pretty basic actually. A pretty basic operation. In essence, what I do, I'll record a scene on my laptop. Maybe 30 seconds, could be 4 minutes. And then I'll cut, go do something, and then cut back to after I finish doing it. And from there, I'll record a new scene explaining what I just did. Lather, rinse, repeat. Occasionally show something on screen. Damn, it's so annoying. Thank you. Occasionally, lather, rinse, repeating to get everything back in order. And finally, stringing all the clips together so that it makes one cohesive video. So even though you might see me do a jump cut that realistically isn't even a second long, there's probably maybe an hour, up to different days where I continue the session of recording. And while there's nothing wrong with that to my knowledge, it is a bit, how should I say, time consuming. And this is why I like recording games like SVS as opposed to Minecraft. And it's simply because of how much of a time sink it is to actually record an episode of this series. It's fun and all, don't get me wrong. Minecraft is one of my favorite games. Oh, yes. I can finally reach it without going to the bottom. Did someone message me? I can't read that. That's really personal information. Okay, so I won't read that out loud for you. Perfect. It is currently 12:07 a.m. I started this at around yesterday. Okay, the video that I uploaded yesterday was recorded one day before I record this. And I've just been on this for a while. This is quite the trip, I'm not gonna lie. Quite the trip indeed. pretty much to get through this, I've been watching Etho's Lab and Boondocks. Two things that really don't go well together, but what can I do about it? Not much. It's just something to watch in the background while I'm not gonna lie, somewhat brainlessly hack away at this game to keep going. This game in of itself is still very fun though, and I recommend everyone give this game a shot if you haven't done so already. Then again, I think this might be the most played game on the market right now, so the chance of you not having given this game a shot yet is quite low. I'm not going to say it's zero because it's not. There's always a chance someone hasn't played the game yet. I mean, I think it was like Puropedo managed to go until 1.16 before you played the game, if I recall correctly. I'm pretty sure the Microsoft editions were already out when he started playing his Let's Play. And actually, Puropedo's LP is really good, okay? Puropedo's LP is well worth the watch, especially because you get to see a different perspective of the game. I started playing Minecraft somewhat knowing what to do. Having seen someone start playing the game completely blind before the game was, after the game modernized, is a rare treat. I need more wood. Let's go harvest some trees. Yo, this tree is huge. Look at this thing. I'm not harvesting that. It's massive. I got 30 wood from the whole thing. Didn't take too long. Diamond axe is really useful. Let's continue the harvest. For now, that should be enough. The boat road, depressingly, no longer works. It really was an alpha creation, not something that was designed for beta. I could remodel it and fix it, but I don't want to go back and fix the boat road over and over again for different updates, because that's going to get repetitive. Even if I like the boat road, I just wanted to use it. There was no real, just to say I used an Eats road, not really because it's my own creation, because it's not, okay? It was created by Etho a long time ago in Alpha 1.2.5. I think it was 1.2.5 he made it. If he made it earlier, then my bad. But either way, we're almost done. First things first, we have to finish up all these signs here. Oh goodness, these frames, these remind me of Neptunion Switch. I wonder how many of y'all ever played Mega Dimension Neptunia V2 on Nintendo Switch hardware. Oh boy, that was something, I oughta tell you. Why, I oughta indeed. Okay, so with that done, I can close this. And now if I need to enter it, I can enter it through the iron door. And then, almost forgot something. Very important thing. I need to place water, like that. And then, the way it'll work is quite cool. You see, we have cobblestone. Water travels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see if that's correct. If I'm correct here, then we're golden. If I'm not, then I messed up somewhere. Okay. I messed up somewhere. Well, it's not the end of the world. I can still fix this. And then this will actually be completely made of glass. That way you can all see what's going on. And this is why we still need more signs. I'm going to need 2 signs for this section. 2. See, that way you guys can't say I build off camera and only off camera. No. I grind off camera, and then if the grinding is excessive to the point that it gets rid of an episode, then I'll just fast forward the grinding just to show it off. And the reason I'm doing it like this is so that I can have them be visible. Yeah, this is how I flattened this entire location. It's actually pretty cool in terms of design. Took forever though. Again, we're still on peaceful because this is not feasibly possible to do reliably on hard mode. I wish it was. It'd be way cooler if it was. But, sometimes you have to settle and realize, hey, some things just aren't worth it. Time for 2 signs. And we're still going to be making a lot more signs, okay? Don't worry about it. I already made the 2 signs. What's wrong with me? Oh, what I really needed was the glass. I realized how to fix the road. Give me a quick second. I was completely going to abandon the road, but I figured this is actually a really simple fix. There's no reason to ignore it. So first what I need is some redstone wire, which I can get really easily from my chest. Thankfully all the mining I've done has been very good to me. Ah, yes. All these particle effects are definitely not helping my game at all, but you know what? I don't care. It's all good. All great, actually. Completely, absolutely, marvelously great. Let's hope that this actually does fix it, because if it doesn't fix it, then I'm going to have some issues. So that plus, let's see here. That opens it like how? That still opens it. Perfect, this still works. Good. And the way I need to do this is the pressure pad here. That's not lighting up. Why? Oh. Will this work? That worked. Okay. So first I place that there and put this here. And then I break this block here. Good. Following that, I need to make sure that this actually stays connected. This makes it all the way to the door itself. Actually, to the sign itself. So let's connect that as well. I know for a fact that I do have the ladders somewhere. Let's go get them. Therefore, if it gets to this sign here, I connect it here. Which is exactly what I want to do. I then break this section here. Good. This is all in good fun. All in good time. Good strategy. And then, how did I do this? Because that's going to fall in there, and it's going to send it there, which will bring the boat through here. So what I need is ladders. Let's pick that up right now. So a few things happened. One, my wiring was off, which is not something I want to know happened, but, you know, if it happens, my wiring is straight up wrong, I gotta fix it. Okay? Learn from your mistakes, don't ignore your problems. There's that. Good. And then, here's where my mistake was, and I'm surprised I had this going on for so long without actually catching it. It was this. Why did I not have ladders here? Okay? And that seems really basic, because look, if I go to the other side, oh, thank goodness that didn't hit me. If I go to the other side, there's ladders on the side of it by the entrance, here. These ladders create a hitbox that lets the boat travel without having issues. But I did not do that. So what I need to do is break these two. Actually, lower this by 1. Like so. Find iron like a boss. Completely unscripted. Good to know. And I don't think I'll cut out this section of the recording. Just the fact that I found iron isn't something too relevant. Good. It's always nice when you look back at your instructions and find something that wasn't originally obvious. Like place ladders here. That way there's a hitbox here that realistically doesn't affect too much, but in reality it does. That's a weird way to phrase that. Anyways, let's get the sand here. Good. Some dirt. Because dirt is going to be used as the test block whenever we build. It's just more practical that way. So the way it works is I place 2 dirt there. And then 1 here. And then place these 2 here. And then break the 2 dirt. And then open this. What that should do is push the boat up. Why is the boat stuck? Oh, is there something blocking the boat? What's blocking the boat? I have no idea. Okay, boat's fine. And now, I enter. I don't fall in anymore. Good. It still closes. I can get out. Will this boat allow me through? Let's see. Go up, please. Moment of truth. Do I die? I don't die. Perfect. Therefore, the boat issue has been resolved. Now, before I conclude this little journey, I must remember to stock up on boats eventually. Damn the cobble. Okay, so that's there for 1. And I put this over here. Stand here, place it on the corner. It'll push in, and it should be behind it now. If I'm correct, boat path works. Now let's do the other one. My only issue is the duration of the redstone length, because the tick itself doesn't open the door long enough for the other boat to go in the other direction. And that's kind of weird to explain if you don't know how redstone in beta worked, or redstone in alpha worked, really. Because it doesn't work like it does today. Things are much more streamlined with all the additional redstone tools, such as comparators, repeaters, and observers, and everything else. I'm not going to say, oh, Minecraft is harder, because I don't know. It's really up to preference at that point. The one that you play less is going to be harder for you. That's the way I see it. Okay. The one that you play more is going to be easier. And there we go. You now have 2 boats there, 2 boats the other way, and I won't suffocate into the floor like I did last time. Time to check. Good. It opens up, close it. Does it go up? Now that's the question. Will it end up here? Pushing up, and we did it. We have officially solved this issue completely. Perfect. But that was completely off script, and not what we needed to do. Now we need to do the actual thing, and that is build the mob trap itself. But first, I was going to say let me take a selfie, but I'm not a girl, so what I'm going to say is first, let's do this ore smelting. Good. You can put away the dirt. Dirt is done. And I don't think I'll be needing pressure plates for a while. The redstone was for the road itself, and the ladders, I'm not going to leave the ladders anymore. Good. So the way this works is actually quite simple. I place a sign here, and a sign here. Then, from here, something activated my damn road. It was a passive mob, I'm calling it. It's those pesky passive mobs that activate my roads. That's what happens over and over again. But why? Is it something on this side? Because I know that's what's happening. The passive mob is entering, and it's sending stuff over here. That'll go in there and fix the issue. Oh, I guess I just heard something then. Okay, I think my mind was just playing tricks on me. Did you guys hear the door open? If you did, then my mind was just playing tricks on me. If not, then I don't know what happened. Oh, it was the iron door that was opened by a passive mob. That's going to become a liability in the future, which I don't like. I really wish that I didn't have this left open, but even then, because the water current flows this way, I don't think anything will really happen to me. And the way to go is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here, and then the rest of this will be glass. Hold on, let's just check to make sure that actually worked out. Because if it didn't, then we got a real problem on our hands. Let's see. Is this long enough? Yep. Is this long enough? I also watched some Mystery Incorporated to get the juices flowing before designing this. Okay, perfect. Is this long enough? Go. Excellent. But here we have a problem. What's the problem, you might ask? I gotta cut it here. That way it still flows through, and none of the mobs can actually get in there. Good. So will go up that way. And then what I do is, with the signs, I force the mobs up. So I'll do it like this. 1. And then that'll be water here. And then finally, I'll move it up one more with lava. Now, thankfully, due to my earlier trips in this series, I have collected a good amount of lava. I'm only going to need 2 lava buckets, though, which is enough. I have plenty of lava in my disposal. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do another one. Good. And then, if this works, I'm going to be a very happy man. That failed. Failed. No. It broke. I thought so. What the hell happened? Was I holding a button? I was probably holding a button. Okay. So let's do this again without holding any button. So if I'm not holding any button, it works just fine. But as soon as I press anything, the thing fails. Good to know. I should not be holding buttons when I use it then. That or I can install a roof. Either or, really. Whoa. Plenty of cacti. I go up here, pick up the 2 lava buckets. And it's going to be 2 exactly. And the reason I'm using it like this, and I'm going to separate it between 2 sections. The 2 block wide and the 2 block tall. 2 block tall will be for skeleton, creeper, and zombie. Those mobs will be forced into an incinerator to perish. And let's make another boat. Because the destruction of that boat wasn't actually the fault of the machine itself. It was my own fault for pressing too many buttons on the thing itself. Okay, shift, press, goes in. It works just fine now. I could put more boats in here, and there's nothing stopping me from doing it, besides just the impatience of having to wait for everything. But that's neither here nor there. Thankfully, this is working just fine. Let's actually use some dirt in the building process. By using dirt, everything... I have 64 glass here. Good to know. I actually didn't know I had 64 glass here. Man, these trees are massive. Okay, so let's build up. From here... There. Perfect. And then I have sign. Okay. That's there. And any more glass. Build up here. Build up one more. And here's where the lava will be put. And then to prevent the mobs from actually escaping, we put one there and we build 2 up. We build 2 up and not 1 up because if enough mobs get in here, they can actually glitch through, and that's bad. And that's how we'll deal with the hostile mobs themselves. Good. And that will actually drop them like so. There we go. That will drop them here. Which means that what I want to do now is set it up so that this section of the map actually drops them either here, which would be nice, but highly impractical, or somewhere much safer. Matter of fact, the way it's going to work is absolutely insane. Step 1, you have to make another road. That should be enough, assuming my math is correct. And if my math is incorrect, so be it. I'll figure it out another way. I am not out of cobblestone. Give me a second. Let me go get more cobblestone. Okay, I got 3 more stacks of cobblestone just to make sure that this works. Let's see. So the next step is to actually break it here. Is this long enough? Actually, I could say it was too long. But that's actually perfect. Completely. So the way I'll do this one is actually even easier. Step 1, this is done. Step 2, I gotta block this here. And then lead this one by actually just breaking this too. And put another block here. So that I can build the grinder itself. This will then drop it over here. So that they can spawn here. And this is where the mob loot will end. I know it seems a bit strange. Borderline depraved. And David's gonna call me insane for making this thing. But I don't care. Okay? I don't care. This is how we play Minecraft on my worlds. We just do shit and see if it works. So the way this works is, I gotta break these 2 as well. And this here. I don't really care about collecting standard dirt anymore. I have so much of it. We put that there, and this here. And these here as well. That way, when they eventually collect, they'll arrive there. This should be here. Perfect. Perfect. Magnifico. So we place it there, and then I gotta check something really quickly. Because I know that works. I think I'll actually just have this open. So from here, I'm going to put something called signs, like before. So let me get 2 signs ready. And we're actually using a lot more than 2 signs. I'm just having 2 signs in the inventory right now, so it doesn't clog up any more space. Yeah, you're getting to see a building episode this time. An episode where I actually do something on camera besides mine. Okay, so it's there. It'll go here, and here. Let's check if it actually works. Good. Wait. Almost correct. This needs to go. And there needs to be a slab here to block everything. Perfect. Perfect. This will cover it up so that nothing gets out. Good. And there will be a cobblestone there. That way I know where everything goes, and it will be a torch here. And a torch here. That way they face the same direction. Good. So let's from here add a 2-block jump and see if it actually works. Because this is big if true. I actually need to block this here so that spiders can't get past it, but the drops can. Go here. Baller. Actually what I want to do is move the pressure plate one over here. That way I can just pick it up. And this will be broken. Good. That'll be broken into this here. And that will push everything onto this pressure plate here. If I want it to make noise, which I kind of do now, let's make another. You know, let's make another workbench here. Because I don't want this to take forever. Make a workbench. Over here. Put a torch on it just for fun. And then I make a wooden pressure plate. Oh, it works just fine actually. That'll place it there. Right? It'll make noise. That's what I wanted to do. And then when we close it up, there's going to be a block down here. Just so you know, it'll be here. But that's where after we finish the whole thing. Until then, there's something I need to do. And that is make the killing section here. Now the problem with this mentality, this mob type, this trap type specifically, is that it lends itself to that right there, right here. This is what I didn't want. So what I actually need to do is what I did here. And that is lower the level by 1. So while this itself is not a problem, what is the problem is the fact that this is not lower by 1. So what I'm going to do is this. Lower this completely. Because there's the reason we check everything. Because if it's not working, it's not working. And that's not what we want. We want things to work. Okay. There we go. Now this should start working now. Yes. And if this doesn't start working, then I got a problem. I don't know what the problem is, but there will be a problem. I know what the problem is. The problem now is that A, I'm blocking up, and B, I'm not focusing on the build itself. There shouldn't be anything down here, but since there is, let me go fix that really quickly. So we break this section here, and we continue on. Break this section and add 2 cobblestone. This is for aesthetics purposes, you don't have to do this specific section here. And this will be sand. Like that. Good. I know it's a bit weird, me showing the building in an episode, but, well, that's kind of the charm of it, I think. And you know what that means? That means that I don't actually need these signs. Not yet. I'll get them eventually. What that tells me is, these will still go here. Okay. So it's actually even easier enough to do. Now, what I can do is, cut this off here, light this up, and just use it as a way out. I guess. Yeah, this will be my way in and way out quickly. Because now, what I'm going to do is lower this stuff through here. And that works perfectly. And this part over here does not need to exist. At all. This is why I'm confident, right? I'm always confident in my builds, or at least I should be. But at least now, the good news is, I have found a way to create survival here. Now, here's the problem. Where do I actually make the killing chamber? Because I still need to make it. I can make it here, but that's not necessarily the best strategy, per se. There has to be a better place to make the killing chamber. And I'll put a torch here, and a torch here, and a torch here for visibility. That way you guys can still see. Because I don't really care too much if I can see it. What I care more about is if it works. So what I'm actually going to need is 2 signs here. I don't know where here is, actually. Actually, I can put 2 signs here. And the water will still be good. Meaning that, what really needs to happen now is this. That works, and then this needs to be cut off. And this needs to be cut off here as well. That. And then from here, I'll break this there. And actually, no, that's not a good idea. I need to think about how I want to do this. So what I can do here, realistically it has to be here, right here. This is where it has to go. So this actually needs to stay. But what I can do here is force the spider to drown. But where can I force the spider to start drowning? Probably, probably here actually. Because I'm just pushing down 1. Spider will be forced to drown. Whoa, that's bad. Okay. And the spider will also be forced to drown here. Because it'll push it down. But then we have an issue with that strategy. Strategy 1 is completely destroy all the torches, which is bad. Let's fix that. Torch there. Strategy 2 is that spiders are a bitch to work with because they're 2x2, 1 block tall mob. And I'm pretty much going to work with them the way the game was designed. So what I think I'm going to do, scared the hell out of me. So what I actually think I'm going to do is keep this closed off, and then there should be nothing there. Why isn't he pushing it there? Why is it going in that direction? No, don't go in that direction. What exactly is pushing it in that direction? Here? Nothing. Wait a minute, what's pushing it there? Because that's not what I want. Hold on. I gotta think. Oh, right. It's that direction really that matters. Okay. So in reality, this part needs to be broken down by 1, and this part can be opened up by 1 up. Not here. This part will actually have to be taken over there. Given that nothing works there so far, there must be a way to do this. I can't think of it. So that's that. Problem is, how do I block the spiders? I should block them like I can. At least not with my current knowledge of how spiders work in the game. But what I can do is start oppressing them like this. Oh yeah. Now I'm getting somewhere. And with this, I can put it there. Yes. This is all come together. Exactly as planned. And then from here, I can start with the glass. There. Meaning that this will be covered up. Yes. This is absolutely flawless, I think. Absolutely flawless. Restore water, because water is what we need to build this. Put this dirt away. It's a beacon up here. And then... Oh, you see that? I done fucked up. No, I didn't. Ha. Ha ha. I'm evil. That's right, we're evil now. There's a problem with that strategy, though. Because there's a piece here. If I block it, now it'll only go to 1. Which is not what I want. Let me think about that one. Oh, I know how to do it. So what I'll do here is actually quite simple. Place these two here. Break these 2 blocks over here. Nope. Thank you. And then, messed up. Not completely. Place it there and then break it. Not fast enough. That's fine. Not fast enough, it's fine. That in of itself will push it in a direction. But does that stop the other flow of water? No, it doesn't. At this point, I'll make things harder for myself. Well, honestly, at that point, I think this is just a risk I have to be willing to make. Or... Does this push me? No, it doesn't. So what this tells me is I need to still add 1 more layer. Oh, we got break again. Cool. This tells me I still need 1 more layer up here. Break that. Oh, there's something else pushing. That block. Okay. So it's not that I need another layer, it's that there's something blocking altogether. Here. I didn't need that placed. Yeah, that doesn't need to be placed either. That tells me is if I place it here, it'll push it naturally almost to the exit. Man. Ain't that a bitch. A bit, actually. And just doing it naturally like that will keep it all pushing. Which is actually what I wanted. Meaning, we can keep this here for memory's sake. Okay, that's that. We're just gonna have this water here, and we'll say this water is very important to controlling flow or something, and we'll just never tell anyone why it's there. I think it's gonna look so ridiculous when finished. Okay, so that works like that. And now, we have this section here. And we need a whole lot of signs. Yep. A metric loader sign, and I don't have the wood for it. Hooray for me. Hooray for Miguel. Yep, we don't have the signs for it. Shit. Don't drop your sticks, Miguel. Your sticks are very useful. I'm about to say, did I run out of daylight already? That's insane, but no. No. I was just, let's just say hallucinating there. So I'll place this here, and I'll place this here. Then, I'll place 2 water source blocks there, and we have the drowning device, which will push them up kind of like this one here, and it'll kill the spiders as well. Look. Now, the problem is, this is 100% untested, so whether or not this even works in the first place is still up for debate. Completely up for debate whether this contraption even works in the first place. That's why I like playing this game. Let's get some more wood. Because I need it. Look at all these trees that are here. My FPS is still crap, though. So part of what was also making the FPS drop was all the saplings in place. All these saplings were causing a huge drop. But mind you, I'm going to stop picking up the saplings and I'm going to start harvesting here in the long term. I need to make sure all these trees eventually go away. 11 should be enough for now. Because that'll give me 44. Now let's do it. Coal miners. One more tree. 15, that gives me 60. Good enough, I guess. Because that gives me access to 10 signs. And 10 signs is pretty good. At least I think it's pretty good. So while I wait for all these saplings to start going, let's pick some up in the process because too many of these drops in the game. And given that cacti is constantly dropping in this world, if we're going to lag even further. Still, I'm very happy to build this because seldom do I get to actually do stuff in this game that I will keep revisiting. I might even work on this for multiple episodes. Well, I'm going to finish this episode at least. And then you get to actually see this get finished. Kind of cool, actually, the theory behind it. Because it's not like modern Minecraft where if you're building a farm, you're probably dropping everything. No. Here, we're going to kill him. Completely. Completely kill him. So let's make 4 more. 4. And these 4 will be perfect. 2, 3, 4. And then we'll put these over here. And start placing signs. Sign 1 will be here. And sign 2 will be here. Perfect. I like it. Bam, bam. And finally, I need to put in the killing blow. The monumental killing blow. And that monumental killing blow will be the lava. 2 up, 1 lava. That's the way we do it. Let's restore the water first. Good. And these contraptions are going to kill my FPS at this point. So, it works, we build 1 more up. Like so. And this is what the final 2 work for. Now, sign here, and here. Finally, I build up 1 more. Like so. And I will place the lava down here. And as far as I know, it's 1 creative obsidian. And I actually need another lava bucket. Good to know. I'll go get it. Place here. And now let's close this up and start testing this. From now on, the world will remain on hard because I think I have done it. I have found a way to successfully farm the mobs of the world. If true, we have succeeded. If false, then we just need to try again. Okay, so that works there. And then block these off like that. And then this stuff here, I can get rid of it. It's not bad, I just don't want to look at it right now. It's a shame too. All the glass was wasted. Oh well. At least there was some kind of attempt here. I'll leave the cobblestone just to let everyone know that there was construction there at some point. Okay. Actually, let's leave the torch there with the glass there. That way it looks cool. Okay, and here it is. The mob farm. Let's actually see if it works. Hard. So step one, you need to go down here. Damn you, sheep. Okay. Step two, I need to start seeing some mobs actually get down here. And by being here, the mobs will know. You'll be able to hear the mobs when you hear stuff on pressure plates going. After all, eventually they'll just fall off because mobs are inclined to follow the player. You hear that? I hear some crazy stuff out here, man. Some absolutely crazy stuff. Come on, there were mobs everywhere in here when I was building this. They should start appearing any second now. Hello? Hello? I think I have my volume loud. Oh, I don't. Peekaboo. Nope. That sounds like something fell in. Let's think. Let's think. If I see a mob, then I know it's working. Maybe it's just nighttime upstairs and it's just getting difficult. Okay. Actually, next up, let's bring all this with us because I'm going to be using a lot of this in future building projects, especially the cobblestone. I can leave the dirt here. But now here's the question. Miguel, what are you going to do for mining? Okay? How are you going to get resources in this world? Well, I figured I would just use this as a mine shaft. So I'll dig in this direction until a diamond pick breaks. And then every new update, I'll just start adding to the pick direction. I don't actually want to test this at... That's why they're not spawning, because it's currently nighttime. Okay. You know what? I'll see you all when it turns to day. Question is now... Oh, it's here. It's here. Zombies here. There's a zombie here. Yes. Why is it not? It's not a source block. Shit. Okay. Oh, they're pushing up. They're pushing up. Burn. That burned the item, sadly, but there's a way. There's a way to get an item even still. Come on. A skeleton spawned? No way. But I'm pretty sure this is bright enough to avoid skeleton spawning. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna check, but from above. So let's first put this here, then add 3 blocks of height. So the device itself is definitely working. And even if it's not killing them from the fire, they're going to drown. And their loot goes there. Come on. Awesome. So in other words, it works! By goodness, it works! I don't know why the skeleton's there, but everything else works just fine. What? Okay. Perfect. Now, I want to test this out with a spider, but I can't really control when the mobs start showing up. And even then, spiders are... Oh, shit! Right, I'm on hard mode again. I can't be doing that. Must get away. Aha, sucker. You can't keep up with me with your programming like that. So I now know that the mob farm works, which is exactly what I wanted to see. If that is the case, I will be checking it out during the daytime as well. And you will start seeing that sometime soon. We're here. It's daytime. I harvested some wood. Let's actually check the mob farm during the day when it should be at its most active. Hold on. Have the... Okay, it has. Good. So, now that it's daytime and hostile mobs don't spawn as much during the day. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So long as it's 1, 2 distance, this should work. I know I was checking if it was a little bit further, but sometimes you just gotta do things at the same time. So now that I know it works, at least, let's stand here to see how much we actually collect. Because it will be building as time goes along. Now the problem with this system so far that I've noticed is that it doesn't work unless I'm around it, which kind of sucks. But I figured I can at least use that as methodology, as my reasoning. So what that means is that, in theory, if I go down here, it should be darker than a motherfucker. Yep, it is. Things are going up. Perfect. Even the spiders. Given that everything is going up, let's see how they react to the mob trap, because I'm still curious about how the spiders are going to die. I don't think I've ironed those kinks out yet, but once I do, it'll be good. So I now know that those are dead. It takes a few seconds for them to get in there, but at least I know for a fact that they're going to be dying there. Yep, spiders are dead. I want to see a mob go up here. Okay. So some of the loot can actually stay trapped. Good to know. That's not nice. Surely a spider will get up here. I just saw one. Well, at least that mob is going down. Then should get here. Even if it does get stuck there, if it attempts to get out anyways, it's just gonna burn himself. Look. Burn, baby. And your loot's dropped. Good. It all worked exactly as planned. Some loot will get stuck there, which kind of sucks, but for the most part, it should work just fine. I now have unlimited arrows, unlimited sulfur, and unlimited feathers. Yes. And given that it's all nice and bright, I shouldn't have to worry about anything else. These creepers are dying. It works. Yes, it works. I did it. And I can just chill here for a bit. Now, my question is, how am I going to get the spiders up here? Because it seems that the spiders don't want to get up here in the first place. Because they're not drowning, they're not too high blocks. What that means is there's probably a better way to get them up here. But then again, string isn't the item of my fancy either. Maybe I have to make my own mob killer for spiders. You see, even if they stay stuck there, they're gonna drown anyways. Yep. Okay. Have a nice evening. Are creepers unable to swim? No, I don't think so. I think they can swim. Weird. Other mobs can swim up, but the creeper can't. Good information. And he doesn't drown the whole time. He can still swim up. I think he's caught in the corner. That's probably what's happening. Doesn't really matter though, eventually other mobs will push him. I think. And as for spiders, I know why they're not coming up, but I would have to put the game on peaceful mode to do it. And I thought to myself, there's no need to keep doing peaceful mode anyways. Okay, eventually the mobs will drown on their own. They'll start perishing and die like that. Problem is, when creepers get involved, they're too slow. Either way, I said I was going to end the episode anyways. I just wanted to see how this worked, and it's not as fast as I would like it. Then again, I didn't make it as big as I wanted to. I just made it big enough. Eventually, I can get spiders up here, which will speed up the process, because it was making it take so long. Because in theory, this should be automated and go every few seconds. Is that spiders are clogging it. So spiders need to fall down first, and then other mobs can go up. But if I could get spiders to unclog it and send them there, this would be a lot more efficient of a system. Well, for the time being, I'm actually going to call it there. Have a nice night. I just wanted to see it work for about 5 minutes. This is what I got in 5 minutes. Good enough. Eventually, I need to start building around this so that this can be active at all times. But for now, I need to be underground, where it's still safe.